episode of Inside Thoughts Out Loud. It is 2024. Happy New Year to you, and Happy New Year to you, Chanel.
Happy New Year to you. Can't believe we made it this far. 2024, guys.
I know. Supposed to be a good year. We're feeling good vibes. And obviously, we wanted to kick off the year with a nice little episode. In this episode, I think we're going to really focus on kind of the things that have been happening over the holidays into the new year, because apparently the tea is piping hot on a regular basis. And we've not discussed the tea. So we're going to discuss the tea today.
Yeah, we don't normally do this, but we're going to do it today because, guys, like, so many crazy things have happened. It's actually astonishing to me. I miss so much. So, Karita.
So, I guess
this is actually Karita's favorite thing. So I'm going to let her take the lead on this one because I can just see it in her face. She's just like, I'm ready to spill the tea.
I'm chomping at the bit. Okay, so the most well, I wouldn't say the most interesting, but one of the most talked about things going on among many things is the one and only Jeffrey Epstein's, I guess, flight log list has finally been shared. We waited all of last year, all of 2023, to find out who went on those flights and who went to his little pervy man island. And we finally have access to his
man island.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what else to call it.
Oh my God.
So we kind of have taken a quick look at the list. And we're shocked by some names, not shocked by others. I still don't know if this is the full list or if this is just like a first portion of the list. But who are you shocked at?
I have a question for you because I know this is your favorite thing. But when you say flight list, this is just like the list of people who booked a flight with him, like on his private jet? Or are these just people that are brought up as being associated with him?
I think my understanding is that it's people who have used the list, or not the list, used his plane. And I believe it's to travel to his particular island. Like, apparently he had some like luxurious island where celebrities went to have like a celebrity exclusive experience, you know, kind of away from the everyday man and woman. So and what happened on those islands were tended to be inappropriate acts done by people who felt like they were being held hostage in a lot of instances. So this list, I guess, has been a point of contention in the court records and during his trial and Giselle Maxwell's trial as well. And a lot of people wanted to know who's on the list, who in Hollywood should we be more concerned about? So we know of the obvious ones, the Prince Andrews, the Bill Clintons, the Donald Trumps. But then there are a couple of people on the list who I'm shocked to see. Cameron Diaz. Is she on here? Yeah. Cate Blanchett. Naomi Campbell. Leonardo DiCaprio.
You're surprised by Leo? Stop. You're not.
I know.
He loves young things. Dip in the young pool, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I know, you're actually right. I guess I wouldn't say surprised, maybe disappointed, because he can pick up girls pretty easily. He's just like, I'm Leo.
Why does he go to a private pervy island?
Exactly, private pervy island.
I'm using that now. You brought it up, girl. You put that on the roster here.
And then who else? Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Surprised?
No, unfortunately.
No, not surprised. Yeah. I'm surprised by the Bruce Willis.
Yeah, that one kind of hurt my heart, especially.
Yeah, more so because honestly, I don't think he's even in the position right now to rebuttal this or say no, because I don't know where he's at with his journey.
Not well. Yeah, I give him a pass because he doesn't even remember what he's done at this point. God, so heartbreaking. And also Michael Jackson's on this list. Don't wanna. Not happy about that one.
Sorry, how long? Like, Michael Jackson died so long ago.
And nobody's 48. He's like number 48. He's like top 50. So here's the thing with Michael Jackson for me. And a lot of people are not going to like this, but this is my opinion. Remember, inside thoughts out loud. This is my inside thought. I have, unfortunately, I'm one of those people. I'm not going to say unfortunately. I'm one of those people who is just being kind of ignorant by choice when it comes to Michael Jackson, because I just love his music and because I know about his history and his past with his father and all the things that went on in his life mentally, I just don't want to hear about it. like
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
I hear it. I hear a lot
we
of people
hear it.
say that he wasn't that bad. I hear a lot of people say he was. I hear a lot of people say he was that bad because they were trying to extort money from him.
Yes.
So I'm in a position where it's really hard to decide, is it true, is it not true? So I'm just choosing not to engage. So in my opinion, number 48, it just says blank. I don't see his name.
Oh, wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to Michael Jackson, I don't want to be on the list of people who say, no, he would never do that. Because there's not one person in this world that I can look at and say they would never do that. Because I don't know anybody enough
Right.
to know what they do behind closed doors. I just don't look at him as like a sexual being for some
Right.
reason. I can't do it. And I hope he didn't do that. But I also would not leave my son with him or my child. But I wouldn't leave my son or child with anybody. So it's not specific to Michael Jackson. It's specific to I don't leave my child with anybody. Period.
Yeah, that's
There's no
fair.
sleepovers with grown men ever. Will never happen.
Yeah, no,
So
yeah, okay.
I don't care if my son is terminally ill and he's given him $1 million bajillion. My son's not sleeping in your mansion with you alone.
No,
So
yeah.
that's why I have mixed feelings about it because of the people who are accusing him have questionable motives.
Right. And that's kind of where I have a hard time. And I agree with you. Like, I'm not saying that he's not guilty. I'm not saying that it's not possible because anybody's possible of just about anything. As I always say, I put nothing past no one. No one is not capable of not of doing anything that they don't want to or choose to do. But I just don't want to talk about it. Like I that's what it
Yeah,
is.
we want to go and think of Michael Jackson as
Little Michael.
little Michael,
Yeah.
Mr. Michael Jackson.
Who's loving
Yeah,
you? Like I
yeah,
don't.
exactly. That's it. That's how we want to see him.
Yeah.
And also, he's not here to defend himself. So
Right.
anyone on this list that is not here to defend themselves, unfortunately, actually, you know what? I can't say that because Jeffrey Epstein's not here. So
True, but he's not on the list. It's his list, so it's
it's
his
list.
list. Yeah. But yeah, no. This
I don't
list.
even. What is the purpose of them doing this, anyways? They can't convict him when he's dead. So what is the purpose of this?
Well, Giselle is still on trial.
Oh, she
Giselle
didn't have her
Maxwell.
trial yet.
I think she is still
Thought she was.
incarcerated,
Oh.
and I guess it's like I just feel like Hollywood, or as I'm calling it, Hollyweird, is on the verge of kind of burning to the ground with the P Diddy thing, with this list, and then with the Katt Williams podcast or Katt Williams going on Shannon Sharp's podcast recently and
Everybody's getting outed.
spilling the tea
Like
on
it's all coming out. But is it anything that's really shocking?
the
Nothing
thing.
Katt Williams said to me was shocking.
Okay, I'll tell you what I thought was shocking when he said that. And okay, so when we were watching it last night, I found that when Katt Williams was talking about other people, and my other friend, she clocked it as well. When he's talking about Steve Harvey, this person, that person, his bravado is intense. His energy, his body language, he's sitting forward. And when Shannon would try to regain control of his podcast and talk about Katt Williams's life as a child, his childhood, his relationship with his father, Katt Williams would hunch over a little bit. He would sort of
What?
look off. He wouldn't always answer questions. He would be far more thoughtful in what came out of his mouth. So it was just like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, if Katt Williams said it, I believe it. I hear that in a lot of ways, and a lot of things he said, I do. However, watching his demeanor go like this and this and this and this and this every time he went between talking about people to talking about himself was a bit concerning. It's like he had almost too much to say, too quickly willing to just spill the beans on Kevin
Anything else
Hart's.
but himself.
Right. And then when it was about
Yeah.
his life, at one point Shannon asked a question and my girlfriend and I were both like, he hasn't answered the question. He's gotten really good, or maybe he's always been really good at talking and making you think he's answering
Yeah.
you and actually not answering a damn thing. It was
I know a
really
lot of men like that. They love to talk, but they're never saying anything. They're never saying anything. What are you saying? No, I'm with you. I only saw like clips of the
yeah.
interviews. And I'm not gonna lie, at first I thought he's on something. Um, I was thinking either cocaine or he was on something because of his energy levels, and it felt like he was on the defense a lot, and he really didn't talk about himself. But like you said, can't put anything past anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Comedians stealing each other's jokes is no surprise to me. The Hollywood, having to sell your soul to the devil to get where everybody is, not a surprise. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Men wearing dresses, not a surprise. We all know that. Black men specifically having to wear dresses or take on character roles that they would never normally do just to get their name in the door, not surprising. He didn't say anything that really stood out to me as being unusual. It's just, except for what you just said, he never answered any questions really
Yeah.
about himself. And I don't think that podcast was supposed to be about other people.
Yeah, you could tell in the beginning, Shannon's like taking it back to the point where he's like, well, I don't know where to go with that, so I'm just going to take a swig. And then he
Yeah.
sits there and he's like, I'm going to drink some water. And he's like, actually, I still don't know where to go. And he takes another swig
Yeah.
because
He's
they're drinking.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He's visually uncomfortable because he's like, where
Whoa.
are we going with this?
Yeah. Talking about how Steve Harvey stole his story about being poor. And Steve Harvey had been traveling comedian for years when he said that, and talking about how Steve Harvey's high top hair was a man piece, not real. And that's why when he was talking about paying his barber $1,500 a day to line his hair up, Katt was like, no, you're paying him that much to glue your unit on. And I was just like, oh, that makes so much sense because that hair was so
That does
fresh.
make sense.
And
It
how
does
do you
make
go
sense.
from that to just bald?
Yeah.
He never receded.
Zero transition. He never had a short haircut. He just went from that to
High
bald.
top,
You're absolutely right.
no hair.
And even in some movies that I saw him in, he was always bald. But the stealing jokes thing, when I listen to them, they're all kind of told in a different way. And it's very similar to, just like people taking material from other people. Like it's not unusual, but I didn't find anyone specifically tell the joke the way he did.
No, he notes that Cedric the Entertainer stole one of his very good jokes, but just changed a couple of things. And I guess for me, I mean, if I'm a creative and you're a creative and you post something and I like it, respectfully for me and my, karmic sheet, I'm gonna come to you and go, hey, I really like what you did. Can I replicate it but tweak it here and tweak it there so it is clear I'm not carbon copying you? Because I don't want people to come for me. And if people come for me, I'm gonna say this person has given me permission to use this content, but to change it. I think Katt Williams had an issue because he felt like he wasn't getting that sort of recognition from larger comedians. And I think
Oh,
if you're a content creator and this happens on TikTok all the time, larger
yeah,
creators will steal people's content word for word, line for line, verbatim, and then will get triple the views and brand opportunities off of what a smaller content creator did. I do think smaller content creators have the right to feel a ways about it because
of
you're
course.
and I feel like you're stealing an opportunity from me and you're not even giving me credit. At least put my name in the bottom so people know, oh, that's where they got it from. So they can go to the
Yeah,
originator. So when in that moment, it's like, yes, once you put your stuff out there, it's gonna likely get, because people always think that they have original ideas, but no idea is original. Everything comes from someone or somewhere else, and then you
inspiration from something. Yeah,
exactly. So and then you tweak it. So I think Katt Williams's issue was he had already addressed him stealing content from him before, and he
yeah,
was like, my bad, dog, not gonna do that again, and then stole this joke, and no credit was given. But I guess my thought process is, in the comedic world, do comedians give credit? Like, do
yeah.
they be like, oh, I got this from this person's? It kind of takes
I
away
don't
from the
know.
joke, right? Like,
Yeah, like when would they say it, before or after the joke?
exactly.
It's an interesting concept, and I totally get where he's coming from. I think on their part, maybe they thought he wouldn't get as great as he did, so they definitely did it with the intention of hoping that they could get away with it, because
Yeah.
why else would they continue to do it? And on top of that, when I watch Katt Williams and I watch Steve Harvey and I watch Cedric the Entertainer, even if they all tell the same joke, I'm sorry, Katt Williams' version is usually funnier. because
That's what Katt
he
was saying.
puts so much energy into, like, he puts his own life experiences into how he tells a joke, and sometimes just shit comes out of his mouth that's never, it's not even planned. That's how
Mm-mm.
brilliant he is, and I
Yeah.
know Steve Harvey doesn't have that.
Mm-mm.
I know
No.
Cedric the Entertainer does not have that. I have watched so many comedic shows with Cedric the Entertainer, and I'm like,
He's
this
not
guy
funny.
is just, he's not funny. And I'm waiting for the joke, and I'm like, when is this gonna get funny? And he laughs at his own jokes, which makes it worse because it's not funny. And he'll be like, and you're like, but what was the joke?
Where's the punchline? I think my issue is that, and something that Kat said that I 100% agree with is Katt Williams. Like he said, he's like, nobody can tell jokes like I do. Not to
No.
toot my own horn, but my delivery, my setup, the inflections in my voice, the way I move my body, the way I
Yeah.
move my hair, everything adds to the joke. To me, Cedric the Entertainer was never funny. Steve
Yeah.
Harvey, barely funny. Bernie
Mhm.
Mac should have been the king of comedy
Yeah.
when it
I
came to the
agree.
kings of comedy. And they all said that they had an issue with Bernie because Bernie was the only one who could transition to movies and do well, and Steve couldn't because what movie has Steve Harvey been in?
Uh, Think Like a Man. No way, he wasn't in
No,
that.
he wasn't in
He
it.
was in a movie playing a father, Nick Cannon's father. He was terrible at it. The one with Nick Cannon and Christina Milian.
That whole don't even mention that movie, please. That's offensive. That's offensive to
The
movies.
movie was
Okay.
terrible. The movie was terrible.
So,
But he was just disgusting. Oh,
and Cedric the Entertainer can do TV shows at best because someone else is writing it. That one little show he has with what's her name? It's not funny, even though it's on season 4 or 5. The little neighbors one or my neighbor or whatever. It's not funny. Like Katt Williams when he was on this podcast saying, at the end of the day, how many specials do I have, and how many specials does Cedric have on his own? Cat
yeah.
has a bunch that you can
Mhm.
find. Cedric
Yeah.
has none, or apparently he has two. You can't find him anywhere because he's not funny. So when he talks about those things, fully can get behind him on that. When he talked about Ricky Smiley, talking about how he in Friday After Next should have been played Money Mike instead of Katt Williams, I fully 100% believe everything Kat says about it because Ricky Smiley could have never played Money Mike the way Katt Williams played Money Mike. It was as if
Nobody
that
could play Money Mike.
no, it was as
Nobody.
if that character was written.
It was written for him.
And
Yeah.
he said it on the podcast. He's like, everything that Money Mike said, I wrote that. The
Yeah.
outfits, I designed that. The car
Mhm.
that they had me drive, I picked it. When they wanted to have a regular guy play a pimp, I said, let's get the Bishop Magic Don Juan. That was my suggestion. And when they talked about the scene with him and Terry Crews in the bathroom, he was like, I was refusing to partake or to participate in the rape scene. He's like, I
Yeah.
wasn't down for that. Ricky Smiley was. So, and then he was like, and they were saying that they were going to have Katt Williams play the Santa Claus. It wouldn't have made any sense.
No.
Ricky
No.
Smiley was exactly where he was supposed to be in that movie, and Mike Katt Williams was exactly where he was supposed to be in that movie. So
Yeah.
when he talked about certain things, I was like, 100%, 100%. When he started talking about like Kevin Hart's backstory and how he's a plant in Hollywood, it gets a bit kind of weird there for me.
Mhm.
um and he really kind of leans into a lot of the comedians, and I saw
Yeah.
another a
He talked about
comedian.
Tiffany Haddish. He talked. That's the one thing I feel like talking about people who you've specifically had experiences with makes sense to me,
Mhm.
but then dishing it out to everybody who's not you, you know,
Like,
and the way he did it was kind of like, okay, now you're kind of doing the most a little bit.
right,
Like these
it
people that do nothing to you, like
yeah, it became very much like he was coming for
definitely
the whole.
definitely speak out for people that you've had these instances of like conflict with. But it just when it gets messy like that, I don't really, I lose a little bit of respect, but I still respect him. I'm still going to watch his comedy. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I definitely feel like he was coming for all of black comedy Hollywood. And I did see a comedian who's like smaller. He was on he was on Instagram, and he goes, why is it that black comedians always come for each other? He's like, how many times do you see white male comedians come after each
they
other,
don't, they don't.
call each other's name, discredit each other? He's like, because everybody wants to get paid, everybody's supporting each other. He's like, black male comedians need to stop doing that.
It's
And I was
them or
like,
me. Yeah, it's them or me. But like, you
yeah,
guys could all be comedians. And I'm like I said before, they could all tell the same joke from Katt Williams, and I would not find it funny. So it's not really relevant to me
Mm-hmm.
because how Katt Williams tells his joke is it's different. It's like how he presents it is different. Even if Steve Harvey said the exact joke, the exact way he said it, I still wouldn't find it
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
It's
So
it's funny because of the person who's telling that joke. So I understand why he's upset or not upset, insulted by it, but I also think there's bigger issues in the world.
yeah, exactly. And with that Holly weird topic, we'll slide right into the topic of the new movie that came out, produced, and I guess I don't know if she wrote the original one, but she starred in the original one by Oprah Winfrey, The Color Purple.
Oh yeah, she
So
definitely didn't write it. That's
no, it's a book,
is it
right?
Alice something? I don't know what her name is.
I have no idea. I'm going to be honest.
Whatever. We don't know the name of the writer of The Color Purple, but I did read the book years ago and I was super traumatized by it. Then I watched the movie and I was super traumatized by it. And Oprah's character was which
Sealy, I believe.
no, it wasn't Celie. Celie was Whoopi Goldberg, no? Fuck, we need to like pull up some shit because
Oh, I have no idea who Oprah's character was. Oh my god.
she played Harpo's wife. Remember? She's like something about Harpo beating her.
Yeah,
Oprah, whatever.
but anyway,
Celie told him, whatever.
we're actually
Why
talking about
are
the.
we like this? We should know these things. Shouldn't we know these things?
I'll be honest, I have never watched the original Color Purple because I heard it was traumatizing, and I was just like, I've watched so many black movies that have been traumatizing. I think I'm just gonna skip this one, even though it's with Oprah and Whoopi. Or yeah, I just was like, I skipped it. So I will go back and watch it, and I will correct myself, and I will correct. I'll
Okay,
put.
well, let's just clear up who wrote it. Alice Walker wrote it because I pulled it
Okay.
up here. I knew it was Alice something.
Okay.
Okay, so I know Oprah's character is Harpo's wife, and
Right.
Harpo is Celie's stepson. Uh, and
Okay.
Mister is the guy who, you know, buys her from her father. Her
Okay. Well, there you
yeah, it's a
go.
very twisted. I used to watch it almost quite frequently because I was a huge fan of Whoopi Goldberg.
Really? Oh
I
God.
loved, yeah, I love movies with Whoopi Goldberg,
No,
Ghost,
I
all of those
I love
movies. I
movies with Whoopi, but that one I skipped. I still have not watched it. I should try it. I should.
really
Yeah, I should
okay.
make that
Well,
an assignment for
it's
myself.
traumatizing. But when I was younger, I went through like this phase of watching a lot of black movies.
Hmm.
Um, because they made me feel connected to something. I don't know how to explain it. Like I
Yep.
just
So
like
you felt
these
seen
people
on
look
the
like
screen.
yeah, these
Yes.
people look like me. As dark and weird as some of the stories were, I very much watched a lot of black movies,
Yeah.
especially when they were about Martin Luther King or any of those.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
But with that movie came an interesting topic from the new cast, the 2023 cast, Taraji P. Henson. Taraji P. Henson made it very clear throughout her press junket to talk about the inequality of pay that Black female actresses experience, even on films produced or directed by Black people. And in this particular movie, she talked about how she had to push for more pay for herself. So her co-stars, Fantasia, Danielle Brooks, what's her name, Halle Bailey, and everybody basically.
Halle Bailey was in it. Right,
Yeah,
right, right. Okay, okay,
to
okay.
she fought for everybody to get fair pay because as soon as I hear that Oprah Winfrey's a part of something, I'm expecting big numbers. I'm expecting money to be invested. I'm expecting a big show out, especially because Oprah doesn't put her name on just anything. So to hear Taraji talk about the fact that she wasn't getting paid what she should be getting paid in Hollywood, knowing what her name brings, when you put her name on something, people are showing out. When you put
Mhm.
the title of the movie out, people are showing out. Why do Black actresses have to fight for decent wages?
Do you know that the budget was about 100 million?
No, I did not.
It's about a
Okay,
100 million budget.
so
So
yeah,
she did
get
not
into
need to
it.
underpay anybody. Uh, For some reason I thought it would be lower because typically black movies they have
Mm.
a lower budget. So
But that's what I mean.
I'm just
Because
looking
Oprah
at
was
it
a
right now.
part of
It
it.
said about 100 million.
Yeah, like I'm not surprised at that because it's Oprah's got her hand in the pot. And that's what kind of shocked me to know that you've hired some of the best that you could find to portray those who have been a part of the play as well as now the movie, who have dedicated themselves to these roles to portraying a classic movie. Why would you feel it's okay to underpay them? Black woman to black woman. Why
Mm-hmm.
is that your thought process? Knowing how much you've invested in the overall production. So watching Taraji on press junkets get in fault, like be in tears about how unfair this journey has been, and even on this particular movie as well, really made me think to myself, yo, I really thought that these actresses, especially the bigger names, the Octavia Spencers, the Viola Davises, they've all talked about how they have had to fight and push, even though they're on the
Mm-hmm.
top of the list, for equal pay. And to watch Taraji P. Henson basically be like, I really thought about quitting Hollywood because
Yeah.
I couldn't, after everybody got their piece, I was getting nothing, but you wanted me to run around and do all these press junkets and show up and smile and promote the movie, and then I get nothing from that pie after, really made me feel a ways about Hollywood because I love movies. I'm a movie watcher. We know this. I've been watching movies since I was a kid. Like, that's one of my ways of escaping life. And to hear
Yeah.
that some of these actresses today who have busted their ass, honing their craft, showing up, getting nominated when you never thought it was possible, like Taraji, Benjamin Button, and all of the things that she's done, Cookie for Empire while it was still, top tier, to be in a room now where you're still having to go negotiate your pay when everybody knows that you are a
Yeah.
valuable name to have on this movie, it really is a shitty feeling. It makes me feel like I don't want to go to the theater to buy a ticket to give those people money, because if the actress isn't the actress is the one that's entertaining me, and if she's not
Yeah.
getting paid what she should be getting paid, then I don't feel great about going to the theater, you know.
Well, the one thing about Hollywood that I get a little confused with is that just because, I used to do acting when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, when you signed up for a movie or a show, when the movie comes out and there's more money, I believe they're still supposed to get more
Something.
money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, depending on the contract that you sign. So you get like a payment up front,
Mm-hmm.
or you can get a combination, I believe, of the payment. And then what is it called? There's a word for it.
Not
Residual,
royalties. Okay.
royalties, residuals, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious where that money is going to go and if they signed that contract where they still get money, because that would determine whether or not I pay money to go see this movie. Because
Mm-hmm.
if they're still going to get money after the movie comes out when it makes the large portion of it, because I know they have to pay off the budget.
Mm-hmm.
So the first 100 million goes back towards
Production
the
and
person,
everything.
the people that donated the money for it. They get the
Yeah.
first 100 million. Whatever else is made after that is supposed to be distributed amongst the cast members. It's supposed to be, but I wonder if they just take the lump sum.
I wonder if they're even given options for royalties or residuals anymore. Because I remember kid actors of the yesteryears today saying that their royalties now are like sometimes $2.59 because they got
Mhm.
gypped so much. And these movies play two or three times on, the Family Channel and once on ABC Family in the morning. And it's like, how are your residuals so low? But then I think about the kid who was in uh the Lion King. What's his name? I can't remember his name. It's off the top of my head. The kid who sang it. Originally, he was offered a $2 million check flat for the Lion
Yeah,
King for his singing portion, and his
but he
mom was
didn't do
like, "Right." She negotiated for a high-paying residual or royalties
but he's still
contract.
getting those checks.
Jason
Yeah,
Weaver.
he's
That's
covered.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
So there is a way to go about it, but I
Yeah.
think the problem is that I'm going to say this just for the black actors
Yeah.
and actresses is they typically, I believe, will take the money up front because
Yeah.
these roles don't come often for
Yeah.
them, right? There's not a lot of, even if they're getting scripts, I'm pretty sure Halle Berry said this, that
Mm-hmm.
even after she won her Oscar, she still was not given roles that were good enough for her. She's just like, they don't write roles that put black people that are not on drugs or are not like just complicated human beings. Like I understand we all have our complications, but there's a lot of roles that are written with the stereotypical Black person versus who we are. Like we're business people, we have education, we
Mm-hmm.
there's not a lot of roles that are written specifically
Mm-hmm.
for Black characters and with Black characters in mind. They're usually playing a white person's best friend
Mm-hmm.
or some other secondary role, right? And she said even after she won her Oscar, she won the Oscar for Monsters Ball, I believe, and I
Mm-hmm.
think she had to like have sex or do something weird.
Yes, it was an intense scene.
Yeah, like that movie was interesting. I'm not sure why she won an Oscar for that. That's one movie that I can't understand what the Oscar.
They often say that when certain actresses win Oscars, it's because they've decided to give a little bit, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
but I've seen
Because
her in way more powerful roles. Haven't you?
losing Isaiah when she first came
Losing
out,
Isaiah, that could have been Oscar worthy, but she
easy.
didn't get an
No.
Oscar for that. But she got an Oscar for laying down with a white man
Yeah.
on camera. It was just
Yeesh.
weird. I don't know.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Hollyweird is weird,
I told
okay?
you.
Because there are some movies where it makes sense why it was an Oscar worthy performance, and then there's some where I'm like, why?
Mm-hmm.
What is the Oscar for?
It makes it makes me think that it's just like, oh, if she's up on the list of like we've run through a bunch of names, she had a pretty
Yeah,
decent year, we'll give it to her this time. Like, is it really based on your work, or is it really just based on who you know, who likes you, and who advocates for you? Like when they're in the room, like it made me feel like, did she really earn it for Monsters Ball because she played
yeah,
a broke, kind of crackheady mother who couldn't support her child, who was a bit
yep.
abusive, just like in Losing Isaiah, except Losing Isaiah was far more, to me, well, I guess they're both riveting in their own ways, but Losing Isaiah was far,
But she came around in a different way in Losing Isaiah. Like there
yeah.
was some growth within the role.
And it was by
However,
her, not by being
yes,
saved by a white man. So,
yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And then on top of that, didn't Denzel win it for the
Training
drug
Day.
training day? Again,
Yep.
he's done more powerful roles. I believe he could have gotten an Oscar for what is that movie? The football movie.
Remember the Titans. He could
Remember
have
the
gotten it,
Titans, which people still watch to this day.
me included.
Okay, if he was gonna get an Oscar, it should have been for that.
It could have been for
I can think of
Malcolm
other
X.
movies as
It
well.
could have been
Malcolm
for
X, yep.
that one where they're on the boat. I refuse to watch it. The slavery one. There are, and I'm sure he's gotten his accolades in a couple of different ways. But again, that's
But
a
not an
man.
Oscar. Why is he getting an Oscar for playing a drug lord? Like I don't
Yeah.
understand that.
It's almost as if
That
Hollywood
there was
goes,
nothing. There was nothing powerful about that performance.
exactly. It's like if Hollywood said, "Oh, you finally played the role I want to see you in."
That I want to see you
Now,
in.
now you get rewarded. Yeah, that
Yeah.
I want to
So
see you play it
now, when you show up to an audition, we want you to show up in the
like a
roles that
drug
we
dealer.
want you to be in because we gave
Yeah.
you an award for this role. Now we want you to have more roles like this.
Yeah.
When those roles never suited him, I did not think he was believable as that character at all. At
I
all. When I
I
watched
liked,
Training Day, I was like, I'm not buying this.
yeah.
Like he was
Ultimate,
good.
it almost feels like, you know how in music, the music industry, artists always say the first two or three albums, it's based on what um the studio, the persona they want me to portray, and then three or four albums in, you start to hear what I want to release as a musician. I feel like it's the
Yeah.
same thing with Hollywood. Like, you don't get an award until you do what I want you to do, and then you
For
can
what
kind
we
of
say,
go
yeah.
off and do whatever you want, and then maybe you'll get awards for that, but it has to be
Mhm.
on my terms first. And that's kind of what I'm just like,
So, what are your thoughts on Will Smith's Oscar? He didn't
getting
win, right?
getting the Oscar after he slapped the shit out of Chris Rock.
Because we did not talk about that. We never talked about that. But I mean, that role was specifically for the.
Did
Oh
you
my
watch
God,
it?
what is it? I watched the movie. Yeah, it was a
Oh.
good performance. It was. It
Oh,
was a
okay.
good performance. Not Oscar worthy, I don't think.
Mm.
And he played like a true character of a man who already exists. It was okay, but I don't think it was Oscar worthy. He's made other movies that were more.
Was it for the
Muhammad
Serena?
Ali was more powerful, actually. Even though he was playing an existing character, I believe he was more powerful in that than he was in this
Yeah,
one.
but didn't he win for Muhammad Ali as well?
No, this was his first Oscar.
No,
He
I
won
didn't.
a. He won. Let me see. Will Smith.
Yeah, because I feel like,
No, he was nominated.
oh,
He was nominated for it, but I don't think he won.
was this for the portrayal
Best
of
actor 2022. Yeah, so he was nominated, I believe,
what? What
but
was it
this is his
for?
first win, first
What was
Academy win.
what was it for? What movie?
I think it was for the one we just said. He was nominated under for the. Oh my god, my brain is not working.
The Serena
The
Williams.
boxer. The boxer. What's his name? Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
I believe he was nominated. So let's go. Will Smith Oscar nominations.
because if it was for the one where he portrays Serena Williams and Venus Williams' dad, I would give it to him. But if it's for the one that most recently came out, I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
No,
I
no,
don't.
he won the Oscar for the Serena
Okay, so it was for that one.
other one.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Be-
But let's see his nominations. He was nominated for Best Actor in 2007. It doesn't say what movie. And
oh,
2002, he was nominated Best Picture for 2022, and I believe that was this one.
yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't say which movies, but I do believe the boxing one he was nominated.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, honestly, I feel like him winning after slapping. I feel like at that point, what do you do if he was already told?
Yeah,
Yes, you're
he already won the award. He was just there to
accept it.
accept it.
Yeah. So if I was a TV producer, I would have recorded it. I wouldn't have published it. But I think it was live, so maybe they didn't have a
Mhm.
choice. I just
I think that there was limited choice in that time span
yeah, you're
because I
probably right.
believe he was given the award not long after.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Um, but they could have taken it back, but they chose not to.
I
The
just
Academy chose not to, which I found to be very interesting. And I'm
oh,
not saying he didn't deserve it. He's played a lot of roles where he should have won an Academy Award. I think he is a good actor
mm-hmm.
when he wants to be. Wait, The Pursuit of Happiness, he was also nominated.
That makes sense.
So was his son. His son did not win, though.
Mm.
Jaden Smith was also nominated. Um, yeah, anyways, the Oscars are. I stopped watching the Oscars in, I could say 2010.
Yeah, I stopped fully paying
I
attention.
stopped watching.
I'll watch if I have a certain person who I'm rooting for to win, and the minute I see that they have or haven't won, I click it off.
Mhm.
Or I'm always watching
Yeah,
it and something else. But yeah, we kind of digress past what we were talking about. I feel like
yeah,
when
let's
it
get back
comes
to
to
it.
the black actresses of today and like how hard they work to be seen and to
Mhm.
still have to fight for equal pay really kind of breaks my heart. And that's kind of why I got super excited when we started to have, the Tyler Perrys, the Jordan Peels, the
Yeah,
Antoine Fuquas, the people who are black and who are making movies for black people that was outside
and
of
they're
the realm
writing
of
them. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and it wasn't just about your stereotypical characters. Like Jordan Peele specifically writing movies that are about scary topics that have nothing to do with race and racism or
Mhm.
this or that, and it's just like I'm hoping eventually that there is a not I don't think it's ever gonna be equal, but a decent number of black writers and black producers where we can hope that black actresses and black actors are getting decent pay. They're not being
Yeah,
asked to drive themselves to set. They're not being asked to share trailers. They're getting a decent wage for makeup and costume and all of that. And
and
Hollywood,
hair. Can we talk about hair?
oh, can we?
Come on. We need better budgets for black hairstylists for black actors. Okay, we need to. In general, I think what you just said about these, having later on in life having these things get better. It would be nice if someone wrote a movie that is entirely for a white person, but they put a black person in that role because that person fits it better.
Mm-hmm.
And that change doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Swapping a white face for a black face doesn't change the storyline. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
So that would be nice to see.
But when they do that and then you hear about it over and over and over again, sometimes I worry that the message gets muddied because it's just
Hmm.
like white people will always
People
be
don't
like,
like it.
right, and then you have white people saying things like, "Oh well, if it roles were reversed, the white person wouldn't get the role; the black person would still get it anyway." I just want there to be more movies that have to do with life, not that have nothing to do with race, have experiencing racism, experience stereotypes. I just want black actors to be able to act and not have to act
Yeah.
black. You know what I'm saying? I
Yes,
don't.
yes. No more acting black.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And just the whole thing that happened, even with Halle Bailey and being the mermaid.
Oh
Who
my god,
freaking cares if the mermaid is a redhead,
black
white,
girl.
or black? That doesn't change the storyline. It didn't change it at all.
Not a thing.
I mean,
Not
I
a thing.
watched the movie. I didn't love it because
Yep.
I just don't like the Little Mermaid in general, but I watched it
Yep.
specifically to support her.
Ditto.
Um, but things like that, where people get all bent out of shape for these things that don't matter, it
Yeah.
does not matter.
I.
It's
I'm.
different if she's supposed to play an African queen, then yes, she should be black.
Yeah.
Okay, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I hope that that does change because we need these actors to want to do more films, and in order for them to want to do more films, they need to be getting paid and they need to be treated
Fairly.
essentially like everybody else.
Yeah, it's imagine you go into your desired career and you get there and you feel like everybody's kind of just like blasé about your presence. But people love to see you, but the people you work with don't really give a shit. Watching Taraji P be like, I really considered quitting Hollywood and quitting acting because of how I've been treated. It's like hearing
Yeah.
someone be like, I wanted to be, a scientist, but anytime I walked into the lab, people just ignored me because I was a woman or because I was black or because I was whatever. That stuff hurts to hear. And
Yeah.
I feel like this particular job, being an actress and giving so much you give in your roles, it's not easy. So when you feel like you're being underpaid and disregarded and ignored and kind of like cast aside, I feel like it would be hard not to take it personally. And so when people are like,
Yeah.
"Oh, she shouldn't be crying. She's still rich and she's still," you don't get
No,
how
it's not
much.
about that. It's not about that. We need to
Yeah,
stop with the whole they're still rich. Listen, I don't even like to go into that. Yeah, I don't like to go into the whole pay disparity thing because, like, actors do get paid a lot of money, but they also pay out a lot of money.
right.
All of
Which,
their contracts have commission that they
yeah,
have to pay out to other people. They have hair people, they have makeup people, they got to pay their team, they got to pay for production, they have to pay for someone to promote them, they have to pay for someone to market them. Nothing is free. And
yes.
unfortunately, for black actresses and actors specifically, they are paying people more money than they should
Mm-hmm.
to get these things done. Whereas a white actor or whatever, they've got a whole team of people. They've got people up at the top that are willing to help them, willing to get them up there. But for a black person, you got to do twice as much work. And I know people don't like to hear it. People do not like to hear that a black person has to do twice as much to get the same thing. It's true.
If
Whether
not the
you
same,
want to hear
not the
it or
same
not,
thing.
it's true.
9 times out of 10, less than the same
Less
as
than.
everybody else.
But they got to
Yeah.
work twice as hard because not only do you have to prove yourself,
Yep.
you cannot get rid of this skin no matter
Yep.
what room you walk into. The skin is on you, it's apparent, you can't hide behind it. And how people treat you sometimes, whether they're racist or they're not, some people just might just be uncomfortable around people of color. They're not racist, but they've got some other internal issues that they haven't quite sorted out yet. But it is
Mm-hmm.
a battlefield and you don't know when you're going to face the battle, how long you're going to face the battle, and with whom you're going to have
Mm-hmm.
that battle. So
Mm.
I just, yeah, the race talk is just, you and I both know, okay, we're both black women. We both work at a pretty good company, but at the end of the day, guys,
We're still black women.
we're still black women, and it
Yep.
ain't easy out here, and we do have to prove ourselves and do twice as much
Which is why I
for less.
think we sympathize with Taraji and we hope that, and a lot of people have come to her defense and a lot of people have been like, you deserve the world. We love you. Please keep
Mhm.
going. You will get your flowers. And it's nice to have people champion behind you and be like, yes, I agree with you. You deserve more. And we hope that in the coming years, with the way that the world is changing and how people are being seen, that happens less and not more. But ultimately, it's a hard burden to bear being a woman of color in just about any industry, because you're always the afterthought. You're
in
always,
every, yeah.
yeah,
Not to say that I'm not happy for, like, I am very blessed. I have a lot of things. So I can't really complain, but I worked hard to get here.
right.
So, and I'm probably going to have to continue to work hard just as you
Yeah,
are. So,
it never
but
stops.
we hear you, Taraji, and we support you, and we're
Yes.
sending out so much positive energy that this stuff has worked out. I know she's having a sit down with Oprah soon,
Oh, is she?
one-on-one on the Oprah something special something.
Really?
It's coming out, yeah. So I don't know if it was already recorded,
Mm.
but one or two things are going to happen. Oprah's going to gaslight the fuck out of her, or
She's gonna apologize.
she's going to apologize. What do you think?
I don't think we're ever gonna see this special, because I don't think Taraji is a real woman. She keeps it real. She speaks the truth, even when she knows some
She's
people
not going to
won't be
let
happy about it.
nobody bully her.
And people
Even
knew,
Oprah.
just by watching the press junkets, people knew and people picked up that there was, what's the word, tension between Oprah and Taraji, because Taraji said it. I spoke up. And when you see some of these videos of Oprah standing beside Taraji or Fantasia or Danielle, Oprah often is not close to
Oprah
Taraji.
and Tyler Perry ended Monique's career, okay?
Mm,
As short lived as it was, they
yeah.
destroyed her off of Precious. So
Yeah.
I hope Taraji stays the course and does not bow down to that
I
woman, because regardless, she needs to be in support of other Black women
I
and
think
understand the struggle.
I think with where we're at today, knowing who Oprah is, especially when she asked us to donate money to Hawaii, even though my lady has property all over the place and could donate and fix the island with one check, I think people realize now that Oprah ain't really for the people like she says she's for the people. So if she tried to have Taraji canceled, I think people would speak about it. I think
Taraji's not getting canceled.
yeah, that's
Oprah's
just
almost on the edge of being canceled.
pretty
So
much.
she's not going to get canceled by white people, though. That's the only thing. Oprah's
Yeah,
backing is predominantly white. So she's not going to get canceled by them.
yeah.
They love Oprah. They love them some Oprah. But we are not letting her cancel Taraji.
No, 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 absolutely not. Refuse. And I think
So, but the special is coming out, so we'll see. Bless you.
sorry, it's been
Bless you. Okay, yeah. So that's it. We'll see what happens. But if the special does come out, we're talking about it.
oh, 100%, because I will be on the edge of my seat.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I know it's coming.
Well, I
Because
think
Oprah doesn't like when people put out stuff and she can't address it. So she's gonna address it.
but which is interesting, because apparently Monique tried to speak to her and she refused to speak with Monique. So
But
it'll
she
be
was backed by Tyler Perry, and she
yeah.
was backed by what's his face, the guy who wrote the or produced. I don't know what the hell his name is. I can never remember his name.
John Singleton?
Precious.
Was it John
No,
Singleton
the black producer. He's a producer, or
oh
regardless. I know who I'm talking about. I don't know what the hell his name is, but all of them stood against her. Right?
Spike Lee. Spike Lee.
No, it wasn't Spike Lee.
Wasn't it Spike Lee?
No, what is his name? It's.
For Precious? We gotta look up these names, man. We're not good with names
I
at
went
all.
to the premiere. I went to the premiere, and he was there. He's not
Fresh.
straight. Precious.
Isn't it? It's not Antoine Fuqua? Precious film.
It's something Precious. Can you look it up?
I'm looking. Lee Daniels.
Yeah, thank you, Lee Daniels. Oh,
Yeah.
Lord yeah, they all stood firm against her. The reason why they stood firm against her, though, which she stood on, is that she accepted she got $50,000 for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You go look up how much Precious made.
And did you know that she said that Oprah asked her to travel internationally to promote the film on her own dime?
Yeah,
And Monique,
she did.
Monique was like,
She did.
no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to like Japan and all that for free. And Oprah was like, oh, okay. Well, then you're not going to none. Can you imagine?
Yeah, she didn't go. Because I was at the premiere here in Toronto.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And she was not there. Lee Daniels was there. That movie made, 47, is that 47 million? No. Yeah, 47 gross, 47 million.
Domestic?
It says gross. Yeah, domestic.
Wow.
47 million, and this was a low budget film, so she did accept the 50 grand. But
Mm,
even after the movie made all that money, she didn't get anything, and they were trying to make her pay out of her own pocket to go and
that's so tacky. Oh my
uh,
god.
promote it, which I think is crazy because they did a promotion here in Toronto for the film festival, and they did one I think in BC. So she would have had to pay her way
Wow.
for all of these promotional events,
How do you ask?
while Oprah and Lee Daniels, like even if it was a small budget, it still made a lot of money.
Yeah. I
It
just
made a lot of money.
I just find Oprah to be not for. She was once for us, as usual. You crawl up the ladder off the backs of your people, and you get to the top where your people can reach, and you just sit atop your throne. That's what she gives
Yeah.
me, unfortunately. Everybody's like, oh,
I really used to look up to Oprah. I used to love her.
right?
I don't hate her or anything like that, but
No, I just
I
know she's not
really
for
do look up
us.
to her. I just wish that she's not just for us, because you got to be for people that are also for you, and most of her support did come from the white community. Let's be honest. Um, but it's more about being grounded as a person, because I find that she's very much like everything she posts is so in your face, like just like these, like just over the top things. Why? Like I understand she has to share her life, but it's just it doesn't seem like she's grounded as a
You
person.
you really think that her following was mostly white, even way back when?
Way back when, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. There, she had more white people. Black people started to get on board, but a lot of black people did not have positive things to say about Oprah. Even when I was younger, they used to call her ugly. They used to say so many things about Oprah, but white people loved her. Most of her audience was white
Mm,
on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Um, those were the
mm,
people that were lining up.
yeah,
I'm
you're
not
so
sure
right.
why that's the case, but
Well,
I just don't think that she's as grounded as she should be,
yeah,
um,
that's for sure.
considering what I've seen from her.
Hmm.
So who knows?
Well,
We'll see what happens.
I look forward
Oh,
to
Oprah,
the
don't cancel us.
girl. You can't cancel somebody who doesn't have anything to be canceled from. What can you cancel me from?
I know.
TikTok? Go ahead,
It's
cancel me.
true. It's true.
Shh, but
It's true. It's true. Yeah. But
but
anyways, we are 52 minutes in here.
yeah, we're gonna wrap it
So
up here. We've discussed, I think, everything we wanted to discuss today. I am definitely looking forward to this special sit down between Oprah and Taraji. I think that's entertaining. That should be, hopefully, it's entertaining. And
it
we will
is.
keep you. Yeah, we'll keep you guys updated when it does come out. We'll discuss it likely, and we look forward to the next episode. Do we want to ask any questions in this episode to the viewers, the listeners?
What were your guys' New Year's intentions, or what are your plans for the new year, if you have any? Do you even believe
In
in
resolutions?
resolutions,
Yeah.
or the new year, new me vibe? For me, it's the new year, same me. It's the
Mm,
same me. Um, I'm working on some things, but I'm the same.
yeah.
Okay, so we want to hear from you guys, and also we're Karita and I are sitting down. We're trying to be more consistent. We want to
Hmm.
post more. We want to talk to you guys more. We want to get your opinions on things, talk about other things that you guys are interested in hearing about.
Hmm.
Do you care to hear about our opinions on these crazy things? But obviously, you care if you're listening. But yeah, we're going to dig more into a lot of things that we haven't been doing or we haven't been consistent on. And so, yeah, we want to hear from you guys. What are your guys' thoughts on the Jeffrey Epstein list? Are you guys surprised by anybody on that list? Are you in support of Taraji's, you know, plea for more support for actresses, or do you think
She
she's
should
being too
just,
needy? We want to
right.
hear it.
Yeah.
We want to hear what you really, really, really think about these issues, and yeah, we're open to listening to you guys.
So please, share your thoughts in the comments. Tell us what you'd like to hear, and maybe we'll decide to pick a specific topic from a specific listener if they give us a good one, a juicy one. Maybe we'll start doing that. Something like a highlighted guest submitted question or topic of discussion they want us to talk about. Share your thoughts with us in the comments. Share your thoughts with us on Instagram. We will be posting more. We are fresh into the new year, and we are starting at the top of our list with getting more content out to you guys, being seen more, talking to you
Unfiltered.
more. Yeah, definitely continuing the inside thoughts out loud. We're not hiding, we're not shying away from certain topics like we did our first season. We're definitely going to get into the nitty gritty, and we are excited for the new year. So, with that, we want to wrap up this episode. Thank you for listening to the first episode of 2024. We will see you in the next one. Thanks for listening.
Bye, guys.